the back over there. As you guys know, it's me, D, and we are here for a live review of Three Little Birds. This new British show that's about three women coming from Jamaica to Great Britain in 1957. And it was so good, so good, so good, so good. But I do have a guest with me. But before we put her on, I know you guys have been missing me, or at least that's what my ego wants to say. I haven't been on in a week. Life be life, and the depression to be depression, and but my God be God, and hallelujah. So I do have some new stuff for you guys coming up. More lives, more co-hosts. Also, this Saturday we will be at the House of D for a live reaction for RuPaul's Drag Race season 16. Like I told you guys, I'm on two panels. I'm on the couch potato queens panel. That's on Fridays, and that's on their website. I always put it up in my community wall, as well as I'm part of another another panel where we rotate each week to do the live and talk about RuPaul's Drag Race. So I'm in part of two Drag Race panels, and I'm enjoying the season, even though half of the time I don't agree with who gets sent home. But anyway, speaking of home, there's somebody is knocking at my door. Who is it?
What go on?
Oh no, let me close back my door. Hey friend, how you been?
Blessed, black, and highly favored.
Come on. And these were the ingredients to create a beautiful bandage.
A good Jamaican. Get your
Listen, we
party.
not doing this. But speaking of Jamaican accents, their accents actually, well, I'm not Jamaican, so I can't comment on your accent. But their accents were so good. So
Oh my
good.
gosh.
Oh my God. And it's so funny the way how I heard about this show. Yeah, we spoke about it too. But
Hmm.
and you pushed me to really want to watch it more because I'm like, how am I gonna watch this? But I saw like commercials on TV, and I was like, oh my God. I said, I know this is a British show. And at the end they showed that it was. I'm
Hmm.
like, oh my God, I need to watch this. Finally, we have I want to say proper Caribbean representation. Like proper Caribbean representation, because we are having a lot of black representation, but I will say for the most part it's black American, and that is great. I consider myself a black American, but also I grew up in a household where we celebrated 90% Caribbean culture.
Hmm.
90% Caribbean culture. Whereas I only started to know a lot of American, plus I grew up in the West Indies for 10 years too. And as you guys come, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you haven't watched the show, that's fine. It's a really good show. Try to find it online. I'm not gonna say because
It's
yeah.
on BritBox. You guys can find the show on BritBox.
You know what's funny? You going I actually downloaded BritBox because yeah. There's a lot of gems on there too. But like I was saying, it's a great representation of Caribbean families. And when
Hmm.
I started to grow up, like when I started to like become an adult, that's when I really knew of American culture. That's where I had like grits for the first time, collard greens
Mm.
for the first time. Yes, I
Mm.
haven't eaten a lot of American foods or a lot of American things I've never done before. And I will be ostracized. They'll be like, "Oh my God, I don't know how to play spades." It's not to take away my black card, but
Me
I did
either.
not grow up on playing no damn spades. Now dominoes,
Domino's,
child.
baby,
Now dominoes, you can see me in. Oh,
baby, that's a
my
staple.
grandmother, my big
Uno, anybody can
Uno.
get it in
No,
Uno.
Uno is like a worldwide wide thing, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
calling it out because a game night,
Spades, right? But when it comes to spades, people want to clown me, and I don't care because I did not grow up. We don't play spades, and I was saying, how do you play it? Of course, nobody don't want to teach you. I said maybe if I watch y'all play, I may know what it is, and but call it by a certain name because that happens too. That
The
had,
names do change.
but anyway, let's talk about this show. Should we start with a rating first? Like how much you were rated by?
For me, from a 1 to 10,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie to you, it's a 10. And the reason why it's a 10 for me is because I wanted to see more. Like I immediately, as I'm
Mm-hmm.
going next episode to next episode, I'm just like, I don't want this to end. Like, what
Mm-mm.
happens next? I'm so invested in the character development.
Mm-hmm.
I just really hope this. I hope it gets renewed. That's all I gotta say. I don't know if it has been announced, but overall, it's a 10.
You know what's funny? I was gonna say 9.5 because
Hmm.
I did want more because this is more of a critique for I realize with British television which I love. They do not go over 10 episodes. They'll do but the majority of them have 6 episodes. Then if
That's
they come
ridiculous.
for another season, it's in a year. It's in a year. But a lot of their shows, the episodes range from 6 to 10 episodes, and they do not go over that 10. And I wish it was way more. But I realized too, even though it was such a like you said, it was great. I'll give it a 10 out of 10 myself.
Hmm.
Representation. Um, oh my God. I was able to see myself in a lot of these characters. The even if they're not necessarily Jamaican, it felt authentic to Jamaican culture. Even though I'm not Jamaican, but I am Caribbean, it felt authentic
Hmm.
to Caribbean culture. It
Yeah.
reminded me of when I was living in Barbados, and it reminded me of stories that my mother and even my dad would tell me of growing up around the because my mom would have been a little kid at that time, like in the 50s. My mom would have been a little girl, but she would always tell me about um stories. And as I'm watching the show, I'm like, oh my God, I'm remembering the story my grandmother told me or my mom told me, and it was very authentic to the time, to the
Hmm.
culture, to the way how it was heavy, but it wasn't cringy.
Yeah. It had me at moments where I just my body language was just I didn't have anything to say and I was leaning forward, hands on knee, backhand on frontal. Like I literally just I was like, what's happened to the screen? I literally just
I'm trying to
enjoyed
make
it.
it. I'm trying to make it. I guess it's not gonna do. I was trying to make us smaller so you could see at least the backgrounds in case people want to see, the characters. But I guess that's not
Hmm.
happening today.
It's enough. Y'all gonna see our face.
Yeah, we don't. Well, not really our faces. Well, our avatars.
Hmm.
The last Airbender. But yeah, continue say what you were saying.
I forgot what we were talking about. What were we talking about?
He was talking about how I guess how it related to us, and on the oh, we were talking about how it was very heavy on the racism and the sexism and misogyny,
Yes.
colorism. Um, what is how what's the word for discriminating against people from different cultures and countries? I don't know that word.
I don't know the word, but I know what you're talking about. And not even just that, colorism. You
Colorism.
you see how like
Mhm.
from the sisters that
The light
from them
skin.
being light skin and dark skin, and you see how they're also being treated, but at the same time, how in so many ways, if you black, you're black, they all gonna treat you the same.
Yep. Yep. Even to what I realized too is that even if you were not even born in Britain, but you was like a migrant, like they treated the Irish like bad too.
Thank you. Oh my.
They treated Irish people even bad because the opening scene there's a sign that says no Irish, no blacks, no dogs. Why do you have people in the same bracket as an animal? There's a sign
Cause
saying if you it goes by so fast. I had to pause it. I said that sign say what? No Irish, no blacks, no dogs. I said what? And I commend them for not saying the N word.
Oh yeah.
They call them black bastards.
But you know how sometimes it's like, I think because we've seen so many films that continuously is a reminder of a past that we no longer can just sit through. Like
Mhm.
when you're watching what is it, 21 years a slave, you're like,
I will never watch that again.
thank you. It's so I don't even know the best words, but I felt so uncomfortable, mad,
Yeah.
angry, frustrated. I'm like, I want to learn about my past, but sometimes depending on what it is and how it is presented, it gets you back into a mood where you're frustrated, angry, and pissed. And I'm like, okay, I don't need to be watching films that trigger me and makes me just feel like I need to be stuck in a place.
Mm-mm.
But this was tastefully, it was done to a point
Mhm.
where I understood it, and I felt like I was learning about how a
Mhm.
lot of black people were treated
Mhm.
in, like, in Europe, like how they were
Yep.
literally treated there. And I'm like, yo,
Yep.
how crazy is this?
Yep. Because I realize as we as Black Americans, we only see that, when we see like period pieces that deal with racism, we only see it from the perspective of America. But we seeing this in Europe, and this
Very
happening
true.
to immigrants. They weren't
Mm-hmm.
brought there, they migrated there, and they were black. But
Yeah.
it was, but like, oh, one thing too that I love about this show, I did not mention the fashions, honey. As I'm looking at
Oh,
the Miss Chantrelle, the light skinned one, her fashions were
mm-hmm.
on point.
Baby, when she
Miss
stepped out, she
Chantrelle,
stepped out.
she stepped out. She stepped out. But shout outs to Lenny Henry that created this show. And if you're familiar with Lenny Henry, he's a British actor, comedian, writer who has Jamaican parentage, and his not his grandmother, sorry, his mother. This show was actually um inspired by stories his mom would tell him, and he said his mom migrated from Jamaica to England in 1957, same time as this. So a lot of the stories that he's putting in this show is from his mom. And you know what it reminded me of? Pose.
What?
Pose.
Oh
It
yeah.
Pose, because Pose was not necessarily a documentary or a biopic, but it was based on true events in the 1980s, and same thing with this. And I think this was, when you're doing a period piece, oh, I almost said
Mm-hmm.
somebody's name, are doing anything with some sort of representation, this is how you do it. It's
Yes.
like you're doing a to me it's like you're doing a school project. You do your research. You find people that grew up in that time period. You find people that dealt with things in that time period. And you write it according. You may not necessarily have to write exactly that person's story, but you get ideas based from realism. I think I said
Yes.
that. And I think it was beautifully done. So congratulations to him, as well as the acting was on point.
Yeah.
Acting was
It was just, I was, there's only a few shows, especially
Mhm.
period pieces, that I usually watch, and usually the ones I do watch are like, they're like European based. You focus on the UK,
Mhm.
focus on Europe in general, but it is just, they're well done,
Mhm.
beautifully done.
I don't know what it is about the UK, because two things, and we spoke about this before. They when it comes to acting, writing, even music, it's like a whole nother ball game. It's like they take it so serious.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they take it so serious, but yet still we have yet to really acknowledge them from over here. To be honest, we have the Adeles and we have like the Idris Albas, but there's such a array of talent, singers and actors and writers and all around areas that we don't we you know we I don't want to say we don't, but we have not really acknowledged as of yet. But when you go over there, they they're people that, oh yes, I know this, da, 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 but we don't even know them. And to me, 9 times out of, well, not saying 9 times. And to me, quite a percentage of them, I think, like their actors and their musicians, write better than over here. I'm sorry. Some of them are better than the musicians and the writers and the actors that we have over here. Quite a number of them.
See,
I didn't mean to say that as shade, but I mean I just want to say that I commend um the UK for what they're doing, and I would love to see more of their stuff to be, shown over here. The same way how a lot of our movies and music is over there. Let's, bring their stuff over there because it's really good.
you watched Hot Boy?
No, but it gives me British The Wire.
Yeah.
I have not. But let's talk about these characters. Like I know let me pull up cuz I remember like the main girls, but I don't remember everybody's names, so I have them pulled up. So the main character is Leah Whitaker, who is played by Rochelle Neal. Shout outs to you. And she moves her reason for moving from Jamaica to England is basically to escape her abusive husband and to live
Hmm.
a better life, which she does. What had me laughing is when Mama went to the Obia woman,
Yo,
where she went
I
to
was
the
like, there's always that one in the neighborhood. Mm.
yes, and I knew it was her because I saw the chicken foot and the feathers. I said that's not the Obia woman she going to, and it was. But it allowed me to remember the way how women were treated back then, whether you were in Jamaica, England, America, China, Japan. They are all treated as if they were objects. Even and I had a old like my grandfather. I mean, he's passed away. I never met the man, but the way how he would a lot of men too, like back then, would be like they work all day and when they which is in a way understandable that you're tired, but when you trying to make it seem like the woman is just there to serve you and give you your dinner and give you children and to look after children, and if she can't do nothing else, and then you want to mistreat her and in some tenses physically abuse her, or in cases of my grandfather have outside children and cheat on her, that's disrespectful. And it was happened so much back then, like a lot of families were dealing with this, with
Hmm.
men mistreating their wives, and they showed it. And Glenn, I'm glad that they didn't it wasn't too much. But a lot of people actually escape families because this is happening, or if the husband or the spouse is beating the children or them, and this happens in real life. This happens in real life.
Hmm. Very true. It does.
Anything else you want to say?
About her,
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of you've heard the stories of
Hmm.
mothers or fathers going overseas to America, to
Hmm.
the UK to make a better life for themselves, and they just work to send money back to their families in the
Yeah.
islands. So we heard them stories, and her reasoning really tough because it's like you're leaving also your children.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
want to say something, but we're probably going to bring it up later as we talk about the show.
Hmm. I low key understood where she was coming from because when I moved to Barbados, um, how many years? Maybe like 3 or 4 years. I lived there without my mom. Mommy was here. Mommy was in America, and I was basically living with my grandmother and my aunt
Mm.
until after a while my mom migrated from here, from America, to go over there to be with me. So I understood where she was coming from, but also I guess even though I'm not a mother or parent, I would more so see it from the child's perspective.
Hmm.
I've lived through that, and it's hard. It's hard, especially when I was growing I was becoming a teenager, maybe like the third or fourth year living in Barbados, and my mom wasn't there, nor my dad wasn't there. So all I had was my aunt and my grandparents, well, my grandmother. And yes, they provide and they help out, but it's not the same love or understanding as if it's like your maternal, not your maternal, but your mother or your father, if you get what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Very true.
So I get where she was coming. She was missing her kids, and on the other hand, her kids, even though at the end one of them didn't want to come, which I don't understand why, but I guess um those kids miss their mom.
You
Those
went from
kids miss
seeing
their mom.
seeing your parent every single day, and all of a
Mhm.
sudden
Yep.
you wake up and you have to. There's things that I can recall as a kid, even from like I think the youngest is probably 5, like 3 to 5. I can recall moments in that childhood that you just
Mm-hmm.
remember, you recall that you can go back to. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like some things just stick to a kid, like waking up, having to get up, move, in the middle of the night, you not seeing your other parent, your mama telling you like, hey, you're gonna stay with your grandma, I'm gonna be back. And the grandma pissed me off, but that.
Oh yeah, girl, man, I have stories. Maybe I should write Three Little Birds Part Two. No, I got stories, honey. I have a whole. I should do story times with things that happen in. But listen, it was a time, but you know what? Everything happens for a reason. Now, I do want to mention. I don't want to dwell on her too much, even though like she is a well, thought out. They're all are well thought out characters. We could go. We
Hmm.
could talk about them all night, but it's already been 20 minutes, and I don't want to dwell too long. But I will say, y'all go watch the show. Find some way. If you gotta download BritBox and pay money when you finish with it, delete the app. If you don't want it no more. But it's actually, you actually should watch it. But her love relationship with the guy, I forgot his name. Was
You're
it
not gonna talk about the other characters? We only talk about one character.
What? But I want to say this one thing about her, and then that's it. Like she had a love
Oh.
interest, and at first she did not tell him that she was married and had children, and he got mad at that, which I understood where he was coming from. But then when the brother was telling him, "You don't understand the situation," and I was like, "Yeah, he doesn't. But y'all need to tell him at the same time." But the kicker at the end is when she was waiting for them children,
Hmm.
and not just, it's two kickers, is which I knew that I said, I bet you he gonna come, because when the grandmother said that, oh, he's finally being the father he's supposed to be, I said, I bet you he gonna come over there. I bet you he gonna try to come over there and woo her. And then when the two children, because she got 3 children, then when the 2 children came and the other one didn't come, and he came pompous and talking about, oh, he took the last ticket. I knew it. But that was one kicker. But the other kicker was, her mama was rubbing her stomach. I said, oh my God,
Mm-mm-mm.
she got a child from the other man. That is crazy. But anyway, there's two. Yeah, let's talk about shall we talk about the sister or Hosanna? Hosanna was a Christian.
Hosanna was, and I think this is probably why I remember this show. I like not remember the show. I like this show so much, is because I've met a Hosanna.
Child,
I,
yes.
and it was like, girl, you in a cult? But I was, but it was, she was she was a heavy from Bahamas, and she was one of my homegirls when I lived in Atlanta,
Uh-huh.
and she was just thick Caribbean accent, talked
Hmm.
about God. You can't do that. You're gonna get condemned. You're gonna have sins. And I was like,
Hmm.
I don't think I've ever heard somebody talk like that at that young at the age.
But she was really guarded to the point. I don't know if you noticed it. Oh, I noticed something. um, I don't know if you noticed it, but are you okay? I guess she'll respond when she can.
Yeah,
Um,
I was choking. That's why I put it on mute.
oh, because I saw the camera click on and then you clicked, then the mic turned off. I was like, oh my God, I hope everything is okay. But I don't know if you noticed when they first came off the boat, because she was supposed to marry Leah and Chantrelle's brother. That's what
Hmm.
we first thought. That was her main reason to come to England. You didn't realize the picture that she was holding was Harry Belafonte?
Yes, I did, and I was
I
cracking
said,
up.
you don't know who Harry Belafonte is?
No.
I said, how guarded is she? And then when the oh my god, I don't know her name, but she's a Caribbean poet or something like that they had at the end. She didn't even know
Hmm.
who she was either. Like Mama was so guarded. But one of the funniest movies for Hosanna is when they had the party and Mama was outside evangelizing. I said, if you don't get your Mama had her Bible and she did but I said, "Oh my god! I hope I don't hate this character." And I liked her
I liked her
because
too.
even though you didn't agree with her wholeheartedly, she stood in her as the kids say, she was on business, or however how you say it.
She on business.
She was
She
on
standing ten
business.
toes.
Mama was who she was. Mama said she was, and she kept Ashton in his place. I love that she was not a little mousy Christian.
No, she was holding that man accountable, and I felt like
Exactly.
she had to be like that because how she's seen her daddy do her.
Yes.
That
Yes.
played a big role. It was like, no, I need to stand up for myself because my dad done ran through me and done took the church money and did. I was like, and you didn't even notice. You over here in La La Land,
Mm-hmm.
happy as can be, and your daddy is over here and done took somebody else's money, try to make another
Because
family.
listen, when I saw him stare at that, when he opened the safe and was staring at that money, I said he gonna teeth that money.
Yeah, I was like,
He
oh, raggedy self.
teeth that money. But I love the fact that her going there for her reason for going there was not really to get married. Because I'm like, yeah, I know
Hmm.
around that time women were patrolled, how you know what I mean, patrol. You know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
Were on patrol to men, like even men that they didn't even know. But I was like, I don't want that to be her main reason. I'm like, yes, I know it's a period piece, but hey, it's still 2024 in real times. Let's let's have another reason for that. And when they showed the fact that she was looking for her father because he left the country and left her to deal with those people, I'm shocked that she was that strong and they didn't because they could have back then they could have killed her.
Yeah.
They could have killed her, but she was such a very strong character. She stood in her faith. Yes, I know she was a bit um fanatical, but she was a strong woman. I liked I'm glad I liked Hosanna this much. Um,
Yeah.
I low key didn't care if she was gonna get married to Ashton. No shade.
I'm not gonna lie, Ashton pissed me off because it was like you don't put
Well,
yourself through all of this
it's
trouble
many
for
times.
a dress that she know dang well you can't afford.
Exactly. He pissed me off a lot. The first, I mean, I'll mention him for this because when they first came off the boat and she had a Harry Belafonte picture in her head, I was like, wait, what? I know she don't think that they brother is Harry Belafonte and Leah and
Oh,
Chantrelle. Y'all are no good.
Shelly.
You're no good. You're no good. You're no good for tricking that woman thinking that your brother was Harry Belafonte. What is
That's
wrong
how
with
that lets you know how literally gullible she was
she's
and
gullible
how
and she's
she didn't
guarded.
know. They knew she didn't know and they did that. It's like,
Right.
yo, you must have had good faith that your brother was gonna be a good man to her or something.
Let me tell you, when I was deep in ministry and people would start singing songs, I'm like, I don't know that song. I don't know what that is. Cause there was a time for like a year I wasn't listening to secular music. Child, I got look when I tell you I got stories. I got stories. When I tell you I was deep in ministry, I was deep in man. Anyway, but that's a story for another day. They'd be like, "Oh, you don't know who Tanasha is?" I'm like, "To who? Did you just sneeze? You want a tissue? What are you talking about? I don't know who that is." Even movies, they're like, "Oh, this movie is out." I'm like, "I don't know what that is," because I it was a year where I didn't even watch TV. Listen, we got to sit down and really talk about when I was deep in child. But anyway, um, something else I wanted to admit. Oh, with him when he when he saw that beautiful tall light skinned woman come out the whatever the place where he thought that that was the woman that he was supposed to marry. I said, look at these black men. All they want is light skinned women.
Yeah, of course. That's the Caribbean, and what's crazy is they also
Mm-hmm.
still have those bleaching products. They have that is still prominent there. So colorism out there is very real and true.
Very much, very much. But I won't even say I mean, it is prominent in Caribbean because you will get teased back there for being dark. You would hello, you there?
Hmm.
You would get teased for being dark a lot over there. I don't know now, but when I was growing up, if you were darker than me, you're black. You look, you blacky. You know, they would make fun of you. Yet saying that
Hmm.
you're ugly and you're this and that. But if you're fair skinned, oh Lord, you're pretty. And it's that stupid mentality that unfortunately we still have it. I was listening to some song today, old school song, and the man said, oh, she looks so good. She looked like a Spanish woman or something along those lines. You know the song. I just don't remember what it was. And I
What's the
was
name of the
like,
song?
I don't remember. It's a rap song.
Oh,
You're pretty like a Spanish, something like that. It's I think it's still on my reoccurrent songs or whatever. I'll look through it and I'll tell you. But I was like, oh my god, we still have that mentality. That's still
yeah,
that fair is good and dark is bad.
of course. Even if they want to lie,
Hmm. But speaking of dark and light skin, my favorite character, I love me some Miss Chantrelle. I
she was so
love
funny.
her. She was funny, and the actress walk when she walked up them goddamn stairs in the beginning to that boat, she looked like a movie star. I said, I know that's not no poor Jamaican woman dressed like this, but
Nope.
then she makes her own clothes. And back then, you could make a dress out of potato sack and look like Lola for
When
Lola,
nobody know.
but then nobody knowing. But she was one of the most developed. And I was saying through the show, right?
Hmm.
I said, I love that we have LGBT representation, but I was like, I'm glad they didn't just throw it in there. Because they do have shows, I mean, every show, and that's fine that you have an LGBT character, but it's like you just throw it in there.
Yeah, very
He's
true.
forced. Oh, I have to have an LGBT character. Oh, I have to have a black character. Oh, I have to have a female. Oh, it's like you have to, and you
You know
don't.
what that sound like?
Oh
The new
Lord,
Sex in the City.
I'm not watching that because the one lesbian y'all have is not even likable. They said, and I'm like, that's a waste. I don't like when they make, and I know people of mine that are minority are not all of them are nice. Not all black people are nice. Not all, I know that, but the world is already demonized against them, so why make it worse?
Yep.
But so that's why when people be like, "Oh my god, you don't want no black people play villain," I'm like, "No, I don't," because we already seen as villains. But anyway, speaking of black, I saw the second trailer for Magical Negroes.
Hmm.
Maybe I'll see it. It looked
Oh yeah, I'm gonna watch it.
the second trailer is kind of like, okay, the first trailer y'all sent to us, it made it look like some coon stuff, and I wasn't with it.
I was with it.
We'll see. No, you was not. You
Yes,
was.
I was. I thought it was Black Harry Potter, and I
But
had
then
a
when I
conversation
tell
with
you
a
that, I'm like,
friend.
oh Lord, this looks kind of coonish. And when you saw it, you was like, oh, I don't know about that.
No, I didn't say that. I said, "Oh my gosh, it's a Black Harry Potter. I'm going to watch this." And then I had to watch the extended because they only gave us a quick clip. And then when they came out with the trailer, I was like, "What? This is about black and white. I don't got care about this."
Right, that's what I'm
And
saying.
then
When we saw the
my
trailer,
friend,
it was like,
yeah, the
what?
trailer. And then I talked to my friend, and my friend, he gave me a breakdown of basically what it's going to be about. And I said, you
Well,
know what? I'm going to watch it.
But I didn't like the way how they presented that trailer because it turned me. I'm like, don't trick me like that ever again, black people, magical Negroes. But what was I saying? Oh,
You
with
fucking.
her character, I when I saw her sleeping in that woman's bed, I'm like, wait, is there something going on with that? But then they didn't. I mean, they hinted at it, but they didn't. See, I don't want to say the word that if I say the word I'm thinking of, I'm gonna sound like not so hilarious. Jesse hilarious or just whatever her name is. I'm just I'm done with her. But I love that they never really said anything, but they just showed, when they had the wedding, they showed them dancing. They was
Hmm.
even when she saw her, just the way how she looked at her. And then when the white boy was talking to her, he said, "Don't they make a good couple?" When he was talking to somebody, he said, "Don't they make a good couple?" I like the way how they hinted that she may be attracted to women.
I mean, I kind of took it when I
Mhm.
saw how they were sleeping. I was like this.
They was cuddle up.
Uh,
She would
I
have
say, not little spoon, big spoon.
right. you you mean you mean vanilla spoon, chocolate spoon. And then
Girl.
okay. I realized and I saw. I'm gonna say this, and I'm not saying that the show is doing this, but I realized when they do introduce LGBT black LGBT characters, the love interest is never another black LGBT character.
But that's what it is back then, though.
No,
It's sometimes
that
I
is
feel like that's
true.
what it really is.
That is true, especially over there. Especially over there, there's so many biracial people. There is like 1,001% of biracial. There's way more biracial people over there than over here.
I
I
can
have
see that.
cousins that live in England that are biracial.
I can see that.
A lot of them. My cousin is married to an Italian man, and my cousin, that little girl that was on some show I forgot, but my cousin is biracial. My cousin's daughter, I mean, is biracial, but I do also have cousins like distant cousins that are biracial as well that live in England. But a lot of the times, a lot of the blacks was mixing with the whites. Yep,
Uh,
yep. But yeah, I realize they do that a lot. I mean, I'm not saying that it doesn't happen, but it's like, okay,
I mean,
okay.
because for I feel like a lot of black people, of course, were probably indoor clothes, as well as not willing to possibly explore it or show it. That's why when they showcase it, it's so subtle. It's gradually little things. Me seeing them spoon, I'm like this. Hmm. I mean, we girls, we do that, we do stuff, but I feel a little bit more watching this scene. And then you see their interaction. And then you see how she looks at the car when she's driving away, going back with her sisters. You see the
Yeah.
disappointment in her face because she's like, yo, I wasn't even able to say goodbye. It's just like you see these moments and
I'll
you're
be
like,
honest.
okay.
The way you know what? Let's just get into one of her main plot lines. That family that she was working with ain't she that man tried so, he tried so many times to I don't know if I could say the R word on here, but he tried
No,
so
just say
many
the
times to
R word.
assault her you
Hmm.
can't even to essay, you gotta say essay. Listen, YouTube, shut up.
Just say the R
You can't
word. Oh
say
my
it.
God.
You can't say
I'm
it.
like, what is wrong with you?
No, because listen, but no, it's because you laughing, but it's the truth. I hate to hear when people be talking about unalive. What the hell is unalive? Shut your mouth. I want to say it so bad, but and that's the thing. Let me rant 2 seconds. YouTube, y'all let a lot of things get be shown on this goddamn thing device. but people can't say dead and rip and all. They can't say no stuff like that as our suicide. Girl, bye. But y'all be
Sir,
having a
you
whole
just
bunch of people. Yeah, go to hell. Anyway, so that man, that would be scary. That man take off she door. He gives she give the lot, give back the lot, talking about, oh, I want you for my birthday. If you don't get your ass up out of here, sir. And then the wife, those women then used to do anything, and you gonna come and treat me like that? You have no life. You don't do nothing. I'm like, why do they need a nanny? The mother don't do nothing.
it's because like they can afford it, and
Yeah.
at the same time, back then, it, the only jobs for a lot of black people, people of color, immigrants, were doing and serving white people. It was doing those jobs, being nannies,
Yeah.
washing their clothes, assisting them, and it's like this woman is also a stay-at-home mom. Not saying not stay-at-home mom can't have a nanny, but it was literally them just doing house duties, but
Mhm.
not the typical everyday house duties if I'm in this tax bracket. Like I
Right.
make this amount of money where I can have an in-house nanny as well as a housekeeper because she also served her whenever she would beck and call. Where's my coffee?
Right. Chantrelle, Chantrelle, where's my tea? I would
Oh,
have
girl,
said this
shut
up.
up.
I would have said this up your ass.
I'm like, man, you talking right so you can get up and get it.
Right.
I'm over here sleeping. I'm
Right.
tired.
I'm taking care of your goddamn children. And that, you know what, that always happens, that the children always like the nanny.
Yeah, of course.
They always
That's the
like the.
person that raised them.
But I was so glad when her sister. I was mad that they took so long to get her, but I was so happy that they got her out, because that's a real thing where a lot of these white men would rape the help and the nannies and the slaves, and but then
Yep, very
it
true.
would be so damn disrespectful and calling all kind of jungle bunny and all of that and all of that.
I think I did. Okay, so I want to say this. I
Hmm.
understood around those times why the wife why she didn't say anything. I felt like there were moments where she noticed,
Hmm.
but she still didn't have, of course, the proof. But she noticed. I've seen the moments where she would see things,
Hmm.
when she would just look at her or look at her husband. And I'm like, girl, you know the feeling of your house. You feel the energy there. You see, like you sense something is off. You see another woman's body language. Girl, your intuition, your wombs down there ain't throbbing. You ain't feeling it? Because I'm feeling it, girl. And when she didn't say nothing, I was just like, because people frowned upon divorce
Hmm.
back then. Like it was frowned upon. It was like, yeah, your man possibly cheated, probably did some things, or you never caught him or never had an ounce to because his routine was the same. But it's like
And I don't
this
even think.
man,
Right. I don't even think back then they had alimony. So if they divorce, she won't have a red cent. She'll be broke.
yeah, I need this for my children, for
Hmm.
myself. What am I gonna do? I don't work.
Right.
My husband pays all the bills.
My man, my man, my man.
Man.
But let's talk about Ashton real quick. I think he'll be the last character I talk about. Then I guess we're almost, well, kind of almost wrap it up. He made too much damn dumb decisions for me to really like him that much. I didn't hate him. He seemed genuine after a while. But sir, for you to kind of treat her that way in the beginning, and then the whole thing where you wanted that white, not white, but that light skinned woman. So you're not a prize. And you know what? There's a lot of black men that be doing that. They be wanting the women with the biggest butts and biggest booties and lightest skin and be looking like DJ academics.
That's a whole nother conversation.
But it's the truth. A lot of men be doing that. Y'all ain't no goddamn prize. Y'all guts bigger than a pregnant woman. But y'all want the most slim and trim girl. Y'all be over here not even taking care of yourselves, but y'all won't be want. Stop it. Stop it. Go sit down somewhere.
Not you telling them to stay on your bracket.
Stay in your lane. No, seriously, stay in your lane. Not even stay in your lane. Just be respectful. You don't have to look like, I don't know, Prince Charming or whatever, but act like you do. No, but there's be a lot of men that be dissing women. I'll be looking at you, but sir, you wearing Fruit of the Loom with holes in it. But you gonna talk about the way how she dress? You over here, your hands stickier than maple syrup. But you over here talking about some other pick-me that. Go sit down. So you smell like sardines.
Oh my gosh.
That you over there talking about somebody woman? Go sit your ass down. You vexed because you can't get the same woman you talk about. Anyway. But I did, however, feel sorry for him with the whole storyline with his cute little daughter.
Oh my gosh, that was so sad.
That was heartbreaking. And I didn't even know that she died until he mentioned it. I said, oh shoot, she speaking of, I realized that each episode, each character had well not, what it wasn't the yeah, each episode they focus on a backstory for each character. Not each character, but quite a handful of the characters, if you get what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Like they went back to Jamaica, or they went back to, like, for instance, like how we're talking about Ashton. It showed that this was that Hosanna was not necessarily the first woman he had fallen in love with. He had fallen in love with this white woman, and I remember there was a book that I had to read for school in Barbados. We never read it like in class, but I read ahead and I just read the book, and it was about
Mm-hmm.
a lot of these Black Caribbean men that went to London to live, and a lot of them were falling in love with white women. They didn't really look at the black women.
Unusually.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it it didn't seem they didn't say why in the book, but I realized a lot of them was sleeping or having relationships with a lot of white women. And then when I saw Ashton with this white woman, it reminded me of that book, The Lonely Londoners. I'm gonna look for it and see if I could read it because I don't remember nothing from that book. But his that story with the child and the girl, and then the way how his brothers child the way how his brothers held his big behind, because he's a stocky guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
They held him down. I was scared that I'm like, if I didn't know his outcome, I would have been scared that they would have killed him.
Mm-hmm.
They would have lynched that black man. But it was so touching. And then the father saying that, oh, was it the father or the mother that was telling Ashton that, oh, you're the reason why my daughter is dead? No, your daughter is dead because she was stressed out because of y'all bullshit.
Yeah. She had like a hard pregnancy.
Right. Yeah, let's
And
because the
that's
kid was
that's
birthed
already
out
like that's already hard
of it.
itself.
Right.
I just honestly, for me, it was like she brought him home. In my head, I was like, "You're so confidently bringing this man home and getting him excited to meet your mom and taste your mom's cooking.
Mhm.
Have you prepared your family?" Like, I'm like, "Girl, around these times, you know dang well your family did not like black people, or
Right.
possibly also didn't like Irish people, and you brought a man in your family's home for him to get beat up, jumped, and now you guys no longer can make contact with each other, see each other, for this man to see his child. It's like, did you prepare? Because maybe there could have been another option, another way, run away to get, I don't know. But I just didn't like that she put him in that situation to be like, ta-da! Like, no, you don't gamble with somebody's life like that. She should have known better.
Yeah. You should have known, but right, like, and the thing is, you should have been told your family that he's a black man. Why didn't you
Yep.
tell them beforehand? So then they could get out their grievance. Not saying that he will be sitting down to supper with them, but at least they will know and be like, don't bring him over here. Do not bring
Yeah.
a Negro over here.
Like I understand love, but it was like, girl,
That
snap.
was
Like, come on, let it click, let it sit.
another thing, Ashton, that I realize a lot of Caribbean men do too. They cannot manage money well at all.
Oh my gosh.
That pissed me off. Every minute he wanna borrow money from somebody. From the first episode. I'm like,
The
sir,
very first.
right. With that short little cute one almost bop you upside it down. And I'm surprised. I'm like, how y'all didn't show him again? But okay. But I was like, why is he going to this white man for money? Because as soon as he stepped through the door, everybody looked and was like, now who Negro is this?
It was just, I was very, when I saw where he was going, and I was just like, you really about to go borrow some money that you're going to be forever indebted to? Like, you're not even about to, there's no way you're going to get out of this. Once you take it and it's in your hands, sir, you is indebted to this man.
Mm-hmm.
Why? It's, for me, it was like, none of this mattered. The dress, she know you ain't got the money. Like, he just kept lying and lying. And I was just like,
He
okay,
did.
you have good moments, but dang, you lied.
Mm.
Dang, you're horrible with money. Dang, I got put in a closet because of you.
I was about to say that. I said you. She was up in the closet like she was R. Kelly.
She was she a ride or die though, because she was ready to come out that closet, put hands
Oh,
and paws.
but
I
let
said,
me.
ooh,
That's the thing that I love. These women were not timid. These women were not weak.
yeah,
When Leah beat Miss Burnette's ass, I was like, yes, because when I, yeah, my fight over man. Me not fight over that. Everybody in that Jamaican song. Me not fight over man.
like you want me to fight over this
Oh
mirror?
Lord. But it was a really good show. Anything else you want to say? I do want to ask, um, what are three things, or if you wanted anything else to say before, like we wrap this up or whatever.
I'm trying to think. Is there anything else? Each character that played, even the small roles,
Mhm.
the neighbor downstairs, the
The
Irish family,
Indian
she
lady, I
had that
like her.
the Indian lady. Oh my gosh, she was so funny,
Uh huh.
and the whole. I just love
The,
how
the cast was good.
the cast was good. Also, how the people, the minorities stuck together. They
They did.
they helped
They did.
put that wedding together.
Uh huh.
They were all coming in one. In my head, I'm just like, it's
Cause
crazy
right.
how you can just be treated by one group of people this kind of way, and the other group people appreciate you, build a community within you guys because they had a community. Even though it was small, it was still a community of people that stood by each other and helped.
Because one thing that they dealt with too is that even though these people were white, they dealt with classism. We forget that classism was a real thing. Where
Still is.
yeah, you're white, but you broke.
Still
Your
is.
daddy a potato farmer. Get up
Of
out of here.
course.
No man.
Now, oh, the worst. Oh, let me not say it. It's not right.
Oh
But
man.
that's the only thing I had to say. I felt like even the small roles
Mhm,
were even significant. They played,
mhm.
they were needed, and I can just recall certain moments that I just was like, these are really good. Like this is really good, and they better renew it because if y'all don't renew it, I'm flying out there with one suitcase and a ticket, and I'm whooping yeah. Ah, me no go there.
Okay, no man, please don't do that. Don't go there. You will get deported. But I will say, I was going to ask, what are three things in this show that remind you of your Caribbean upbringing?
um, The tin can where she kept the money. Because it's always with something. It's never cookies in there, and that just reminded me. I was like, oh, home.
Mhm.
What else? Cleanliness. Caribbean people are very, say, highly
Mhm.
clean people. When they went to that motel and it was disgusting,
Yeah, the first one when they had that party.
it was disgusting. They were like, "We're supposed to sleep in
Really
here.
is.
It's dirty, Winston. Nasty."
Ashton.
Winston, Ashton,
But Winston,
baby.
let me say, Winston is a Caribbean. My grandfather's name was Winston. That's a Caribbean name now, man.
I'm trying to think a third one. I'm trying to think a third one. Hmm. 'Cause I want to let you go, and then I'm over here thinking, and I can't think of anything. Hold on, I mean, give me a second. A third thing
Darling.
that makes me think of,
Or maybe the ones that I mentioned could be a third because the ones
oh,
that
family.
family, yeah, oh yeah,
The unit. They like when
the
they
unit,
locked in, they
yeah,
locked in. They will stop everything for you. My mom to this day, me being in my 30s, my mom to this day, if I
you
call her
eat,
right now,
you
she would
eat
be
food,
here. You eat?
you
You
eat
take a
food,
shower?
hot food, yeah.
Nah, I'm dirty.
Well, my three is oh damn, I lost the third. Well, it will come to me. But the first one when the meeting, the whole thing with they call it something else, but that meeting money is so real. I remember my aunt when I was living with my aunt and my grandmother. Parts of the neighborhood had the meeting money, so she would say, "Go on, get us to Veronica. There's meeting money," and I would knock on the door. God rest Veronica, she passed away. I
Mm.
knock on the door and here, this is your turn for the money. I remember that. That is very Caribbean. No lie, the whole thing with the Obia woman, the Obia woman. I was like, "Ooh, I know what that is. I know who she is. That's the Obia woman. That's the voodoo woman. That's the neighborhood Obia woman. You don't pass her house. You better don't pass her house and not say good morning. No, ma'am. And then the
Wake up
third
clucking.
one, oh, the whole migrating from one country to another. I definitely got that. I
Okay.
mean, I wasn't on no doggone boat for 3 weeks.
Oh, baby. I was like, ooh.
I'll be sleeping. I'll be probably getting fat. I'll be eating and sleeping. Mm-mm. But overall, it was a really good show. I'll give it definitely a 10 out of 10. And I want to see more things like this. I thought this was so good. Great representation of black women from different walks of life. Even the sisters were different. Even the sisters
Yeah,
were
they were different. You could tell the older sister is literally the protector, the person that always
different.
has to be somewhat of the parent, look out for the other person. And then you see them take on, you see her take on the friend that they love and care. And honestly, they know her. They know like she is this person and they still love her. And they make her feel welcome. Like, yeah, your daddy is your family and he did you, but we also got your back, girl. You're not in this alone. It
Right.
was it was so good. It also makes me want to do my history dive on British and around those times because I don't tap into like history for the United Kingdom for the fifth. I'm not gonna lie, not for the 50s, the 40s, the 60s. I usually do like when we back in Queen Elizabeth and early and up.
Y'all could keep that. I don't like. I hated like the French Revolution. That was so boring to me. I hated the French Revolution.
Really?
I
It
didn't
was
like
so
that.
intriguing.
When we talked about slavery, I'm like, now you're cooking with gas. Back to the teacher, and she said from that time she said Christopher Columbus is trash. Talk about he discovered the West Indies, and then he was on slavery for like 90% of the semester, and she went in because they were talking about the Middle Passage, how they
Hmm.
just gave them whatever was there and they was chained up, so they had to pee and poop right there. So half of the time they was pooping on each other.
Yeah, and they will also sometimes like people will eat.
Hmm.
They would eat
And if
it.
one person, if you chain the way how they had them chained and one person dead and you in that line, they throw that dead person in the water, you drowning too. Sorry, bye.
And then also, yeah, because they how they were chained was literally person to
Hmm.
person to person. It
They
was.
showed it in that
Let me not
movie.
even get into this.
Is it called Amistad? Give us free. When they throw them people, oh my god. Is it Amistad with Dinjum, whatever his name is? Give us free.
Is that what it is?
I think it's called Amistad. It was about the middle passage. Like about slavery in the middle, because the middle passage was the boat. Was the middle, they was in the middle of the boat and how all them chained up like that. Was it Amistad? Anyway, it may or may not be Amistad, but this was the review for Three Little Birds season one. I like I said, I give it a 10 out of 10. Definitely look out for more stuff. You have anything going on, NJ?
No, nothing. Putting out more content on my page, so please follow
Okay.
me if you love music. On every Friday, I put in my stories new music for you guys to check out. I've had a lot of people
Right.
tell me they really do like that and appreciate that. So I do, and it's all genres. I don't discriminate. I listen to everything. Um, and literally, if I vibe with it, if it speaks to me, if it touches my soul and spirit, I'm gonna post it. I country, punk, metal, R&B, rap, soul, rhythm, anything that you want, flute, even meditating. I even saved what's this called? What's his name? Little John meditation.
Little John.
Yeah, he has a new album that's like meditation.
Oh, it probably. I thank God because he be yelling "yeah" all the time. But yeah,
But yes, please follow me, the girly tomboy.
baby on Instagram. Next time you come on here, I'm gonna have it on the bottom, the bottom screen for the
Because
people.
you know I'm a bottom.
You better stop.
Ooh.
Um, Stop it, because you're doing too goddamn much over here. But anyway, guys, you guys don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I do have some things coming. I don't want to say what it is yet. I'm gonna leave y'all in suspense, like Beyonce have be leaving us suspenseful and whatnot. And speaking of Beyonce, I do like these two new songs. And
Yay.
um, Mr. White Man, you from New York, so shut up. Talk about oh they always taken from our what culture. Anyway, with that being said, I'm out of here. Fire I smack somebody and they not really, but yeah. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
Bye.